but I will change it anyway just to make you guys all happy and stuff. And here we go into game number 1 of our 2-game set, Harrisburg versus USS. So let's introduce our teams. Gray Sky playing the Centaur, HMY. He's going to be on the Dazzle. Maverick on the Slardar, HMY again on the Dazzle. We're going to have Nightmare on the Tinker, HMY again on the Dazzle. And let's go back over to the Centaurs. Gray Sky on the Centaur. And who's on the Dazzle? Oh yeah, it is HMY. And then finally Maverick on the Slardar. But actually it's HMY on the Dazzle. And now on the side of USS, it's going to be a smoke right off the bat from Chance on the Shadow Demon. Koryski playing the Juggernaut. Number 1, he's got the Marana. Alfredo, the Bear. Actually, he's on a Shadow Fiend this time around. And then it will finally be Sportslot playing a Darkseer, starting out with the Soul Ring recipe. So USS with an interesting path going up to the high ground. We'll see when the smoke gets broken. It's actually not going to be broken at all by heroes on the high ground. And Gray Sky, we've got Shadow Demon leading the way. Gray Sky did know that they were there, and they cannot walk fast enough to get in range for disruption into arrow. So maybe a little bit of an off strategy. This is what happens when you're going to go smoke all the way up there. It doesn't give you so much time to walk all the way into the jungle. And also, I'm not really a big fan of taking that path either. So with all those heroes being there, Darkseer is going to be forced away from the bounty rune spot on this side of the map. Maverick picking that one up, but each team will get 2 bounty runes. So Alfredo, oh, Mesomoso, Alfredo. He's going to be going to the mid lane now to play up against Nightmare. And this should be an interesting matchup. Alfredo can do quite a bit with the magic damage, but if Nightmare can get in range for the lasers, then it makes things a little bit easier for him. In terms of auto attack damage, Tinker definitely has a pretty big edge there, as we might have a wraparound on the Sportslot. He's actually going to step up, even though Maverick is right there with the Crush Verdict, putting a lot of damage, but he's actually taking so much thanks to the Iron Shell. He has to get... No! No way, dude! Okay. Okay. He's going to die anyway. Okay. Honestly, if I were the Darkseer there, I would have just manned up and started punching the sniper if he's going to take a double Iron Shell to the face. Probably could have gotten the first blood there, but... So, why? Why? Okay. So... yeah, Sniper takes a double Iron Shell and he becomes a second blood. Probably not very optimal for him. But at least they get the first blood out onto the Darkseer, and I believe that did go to the Sniper. So I guess it's not the worst thing for him. But it does take him off the lane. I'm just so disappointed for him. I just wanted him to be able to live there, you know? Feel some life. I'm just so disappointed. So this is another pause. Who paused? Alright, well, it was the other team this time around, so I guess we can give them a pass. But I will check how long this pause is. I really hate having to keep track of that. Alright, we will end up going. Maybe we won't have any pauses for the rest of the match. That would be nice. How do you even die by Iron Shell if you're a sniper? It's really disappointing for him. His team was doing so well. They got the first blood. And then they just decided to take Iron Shells to the face. Alfredo's doing pretty well in the mid lane. Currently up to 10 souls. Doing pretty well against Tinker, who is... alright, just putting out the laser. But Alfredo doesn't really even need to be able to hit creeps in order to farm. And now the wraparound goes out again on the Sportslot. See if he can get away this time around. See if he can get a kill. He's going to try to surge out. Maverick, he's just a little bit slow without boots at this point, so he's not really going to be able to do too much. Here comes a smoke from USS Youth. Moving over towards the mid lane. Nightmare could be in some trouble. He's just trying to man mode some creeps right now. But he's actually going to step up. Here comes the smoke from the backside, and Chance is going to be able to get that. A disruption off. Arrow is through, and it's going to catch him right there. Soul Catcher out as well. Chance is going to give himself the kill. Sure, why not? And the Shadow Fiend gets a little bit of happy time on the mid lane, farming up at his leisure without anybody to try to hit him. But now there's going to be a TPN canceled by the Tinker. At least they might get a kill here. Alfredo starts to take some damage. That's a lot. That's a huge amount of damage from Dazzle, who has a double damage rune. I guess they wanted the Shadow Fiend to feel a little bit, I don't know, safer on the mid lane with that canceled TP. Like, oh my god, the other team did something so stupid. And then he ends up dying anyway. So interesting. Okay, disruption out onto the Shadow Demon. That's a little bit counterproductive, but he can at least use the illusions to harass. The arrow will come through, and it hits all of the tree monsters. He killed, like, all of the trees there, except for the fact that they didn't, you know, lie down or anything. He killed them pretty hard, though. Harrisburg, again, wanting to get aggressive on the sports slot. He keeps having that surge to get away. Maybe they go over towards mid? I'm not really sure what they want here. I guess just a bounty route is okay. Darkseer will go over there, and there's also going to be the ward placed down by Maverick, so they have a lot of vision of that area. Gray Sky is going to be playing with Mirana a little bit inside the trees near the side shop. She keeps hitting him with arrows. Talking is hard sometimes. But there's not a whole lot of danger for him there. Mid lane, we have Shadow Fiend still getting a lot of farm against the Tinker. Getting a lot more denies right now. And Shadow Fiend is getting into that as well. Only 13 Necro Mastery stacks on him. But the rotation has again come out over towards the mid lane. They need to get the disruption from Shadow Demon, and he's waiting a little bit longer. Nightmare stepping up. This could be the go time, and indeed it is. There's a disruption out in Nightmare, and the arrow will come through as well on the money. Soul Catcher on top of him. Alfredo wants to get to the high ground, just throws out another raise, and it looks like somebody's going to be getting a promotion at work because Alfredo just got another kill on the mid lane. That was a pun about raises, by the way, in case you didn't get that. Pun. I made a pun. Sportslot searching himself underneath the tower. Furtive getting a little bit low in the face of the Ion Shell. Meanwhile, over at top, Maverick can't really afford to get caught out right now. Number one is scouting him out. But unfortunately, the Shadow Demon still walking around very slowly. He's at 295 move speed. It's actually like waiting for paint to dry for the Shadow Demon to get into a lane. It's taking him ridiculously long, and maybe he should invest in some boots sometime. He is at 322 gold. Wow, 322, what a number. But I honestly, he definitely needs to get some movement speed. Like walking around, I don't know. It's like he's... No, I can't make that joke. That's insensitive. Can't say that. Well, he's just walking around very slowly. Let's just leave it at that. Alright, so some Juggernaut illusions at the top lane. That's the order up, and Maverick's going to come in from the side looking for the crush, but it's going to be a nice spin by Koriski, avoiding most of that. And the build from the Tinker is going to be full out burst damage. Alfredo already with the raindrops up, so this build isn't really going to do all that much to him. Meanwhile, bottom, Sportslot getting away, but there's only so much that they can do against him. This Assassinate won't kill him. And he's also got... Oh, no. No! Why? Oh, come on. I'm sorry. I'm getting so upset right now. So he just decided to pop his healing salve and get that canceled by Poison Touch, forcing him to go back to the base. I'm just so sad for these people. I wish that they could play a little bit better. I want for them to have that. I think they deserve it. But clearly they don't. It's alright. It's alright. I'll get over it. Sometime next year. I've probably done that before anyway too. It's okay. We can't all be Dota 2 pros. And now here comes the Slardar in from the backside. He still has the surge up, and unfortunately Maverick, he doesn't have the skills to be able to block him in with the body blocks. Would have been interesting and very difficult to do so against the Darkseer that was surging through. Meanwhile at top, Koryaski taking the big damage from the tower. Graysky turn it around. Yeah, he does. Oh, you got to expect that when you're against a Centaur. He may die, but you will die too, sir. And we're going to have some more pauses. So this is the game. The game that's just full of people disconnecting, not wanting to play Dota anymore. I think I can understand that a little bit. Just some interesting plays here. I think you gotta expect the double edge to be able to get the kill if you're top. Gotta be able to... I gotta be able to understand that. It's going to come off cooldown eventually. It doesn't take mana. Very easy to use. Centaur currently at level 5, so he's got 3 levels into the double edge. It's pretty clear there should be a lot of burst damage coming through as a result of that. Now Furtive. He is pretty alone at bottom. Mirana shows through the trees. That might have been a bad idea, especially considering that Shadow Demon is the one that's going to have to lead out on the sniper. They don't have the... Where is that? They don't have vision behind the tower, and number 1 is going to go a little bit deep. There's the arrow. Easily dodged by Furtive. That's not really going to worry him too much at all. So USS is going to turn this into a push in the bottom lane. And Alfredo, he is hasted. And he's running down Furtive. He dove pretty far for that one. Has a healing salve available. He's just going to pop that here. Also get a little bit of mana back. Interestingly enough, no reaction at all from Harrisburg. They just let their sniper die there. I guess he doesn't have a whole lot of friends on the team. Graysky getting slightly low at top. So, yeah, well, it's going to be 1 tower bottom, no tower top yet. Yeah, still not doing anything there, though. They're trying to push this in a little bit. They don't have anything like a Darkseer Iron Show to push in the waves that much. It's just Slardar missing last hits there. But hopefully they can get this tier 1 tower. It's definitely taking a pretty long time. The courier delivers in some stuff for Slardar. And... oh! Got him, baby. HMY with the last hit. So number 1 misses another arrow at top. But you miss every arrow you don't throw. That's completely fine. Chance trying to get up for the disruption, but... with the observer ward placed down inside the jungle, it's very unlikely that Harrisburg are going to get caught out unless they want to with a bait, but they're not going to be. They're not going to do that. So USS start to make their way over towards the top lane. We've got a double damage rune on Alfredo, and he's been farming pretty well at the top of the net worth right now. Maybe Harrisburg can mount a defense at the top lane. Maybe Alfredo can start to go in on mid. It's not going to be the best of ideas. Slardar's still looking for level 6. And they're going to start throwing out the rockets to Alfredo. That might have been his last raindrop charge. And here come the illusions out on the top. They can't really stay here all that long. HMY, he's going to get the Omni Slash put onto him. And Koryaski getting a little bit deep. Arrow hits out onto Slardar. They might just be able to turn that one around. He tried to rush in, looking for a crush, but he's just going to get cut straight down by that Mirana arrow. Holding him there for quite a long time. And Koryaski will go a little bit further forward now. Trying to kill off this tier 1 tower in the mid lane. That would be all the tier 1 towers going the way of USS. Fortification used by Harrisburg. Furtive trying to kill the tier 1 tower bottom, but he's not really done all that much here. And right now the sniper, he is getting closer and closer to his Dragon Lance, but already USS, they are threatening a tier 2 tower, getting another Dazzle Ultimate thrown at them, so it's kind of unlikely that they're going to push in any further onto that one, but Chance wants to go ahead with this one. There is vision for him. Behind the tree line now. And SF will be put into disruption. Starts to go onto the tier 2 tower. Some nice damage there. Maybe Maverick can get in here. He's very, very far away from a Blink Dagger, but the Shadow Demon pushes. They're working pretty well for USS. Oh, nice farm by Mirana. Right on the money onto that range creep. Absolutely fantastic. Put in 100 mana, get about 46 gold out. That's a pretty good investment. It's like the creep bank. So Sportsbot's still looking for some farm. He's going to be building up his mechanism right now. He should be nearly there. About 600 gold away for now. And the smoke is there for Harrisburg, but they're not really able to do anything with it. USS being very conservative. Not really pushing in too much. They don't really want to try to... They don't really want to try to go in on this too much at all. Especially when they could get a Dazzle Ultimate thrown at them. They've been pretty safe for now. Just waiting until they get their farm. And we look to have the smoke from USS. Moving over towards the bottom lane. Their vision here doesn't show that much. They should know that Tinker's trying to farm, and they need to get in with the Shadow Demon first. The smoke will break. Sportslight coming in from the trees. Nightmare sees them all there. They need to be able to get that vacuum off, but Sportslight getting blocked a little bit by the Ogre creep. Okay, they're going to surge him forward. Arrow comes through a little bit off the mark, and Alfredo's getting a little bit too deep here. Sport's actually taking a lot of damage from the Shrapnel, and he will die. Number one also underneath the Shrapnel and very low. Gray Sky trying to get in. Doesn't have his Blink Dagger just yet. And Swarta gets a crush out onto the Mirana. Trying to get away, but it is not going to happen at all. Gray Sky just with the axe to the back. Splits him in half. Takes the kill. Alfredo goes over to the top side of the map. I guess you could get a little bit of farm here. Just trying to hunt down the bounty runes. A hard camp for him. And most of Harrisburg are sitting at mid. Looking at the net worth graph, it's about 5,000 at this point in favor of USS. And the XP is not all that great. Still in favor of the dire side though. And the push goes out into the mid lane. Arrow hit onto the Dazzle. Can they go onto this at all? Stuck underneath the tower. Mirana comes in. HMI could get the Shallow Grave off to himself. And he does. Shrapnel can do a lot of damage. Koreski trying to spin through this one. Number one taking very low. Omni Slash comes through, and he gets the crit. Very timely crit to kill off the Tinker there. Sportslot wants to get a little bit further, but he's not going to be able to get in range for a vacuum. Maybe level 2 vacuum at this point as well. At top, Alfredo going to work on a tier 2. His team's creating a lot of space for him to be able to do this one. And he's actually going to be able to kill a tier 2 right now. And they might be able to get another one mid. It's already very low. Shrapnel's doing quite a bit of work to Koreski. He really can't stand there like that. You can't just stand there underneath the Shrapnel. He's nearly dead. Assassinate comes through. Funnily enough, he doesn't decide to Blade Fury it off, but that's interesting. USS. Wow, I'm gonna... See, the thing is, for soccer, the soccer federation is called USSF, so I'm used to like always having a number after USS. I really hate that name, honestly. I should just call them Y, because that seems like a lot of what I'm doing in this game. Why? Why? I'm not flaming them or anything. I just don't like the name. Taking a look at our farm and items. Currently Shadow Fiend, he is... What does he have right now? He's got a Shadow Blade, yeah. Thought we were going to see that. Dragon Lance into Shadow Blade will be delivered by the courier pretty soon. Also picking up a bounty rune for himself, and there is an invis for him as well. Lots of invis for him. Wait until that courier delivers the Shadow Blade. Will be called back to him right now. And is there a smoke? No, he's just going to use the invis rune right away. Maybe Harrisburg are going to get caught at bottom. The push does come in from mid. We've got 4 heroes from Harrisburg starting to make their way towards the lane. Tinker can always TP at any time, but Alfredo, he's going to pop that smoke, and the arrow comes through off the mark. Alfredo looking for something to try to kill here. Did use the Shadow Blade, and Graysky, he's a little bit far out. Ulford is right there, though. Vacuum goes back onto Graysky, and while they try to go into this, when the Requiem of Souls comes through, Alfredo can't kill off Graysky, and now HMY is a little bit far out. He's going to try to TP back to the base. Mirana taking a lot of damage underneath the shrapnel. The Assassinate, he's not going to throw... Yeah, it's going to be there now. He's going to try to heal up as much as possible, but it's just not going to happen. Dazzle gets back in the base. The tier 2 tower unfortunately cannot move, and Alfredo wants to get a little bit more. His Shadow Blade is not off cooldown anymore. Sports Slot moving forward. That Mirana ultimate ends, and it's just a Darkseer a little bit far behind enemy lines, trying to maybe kill HMY, but Sniper's right there with a lot of damage, and he will be able to surge out. Graysky trying to chase him down. Still not at his Blink Dagger just yet, but Sports Slot does get away. Now Graysky possibly getting caught out. That's going to be an Omni Slash. It does hit a little bit onto the creep wave. Graysky still taking a lot of damage. Look at how tanky he is, though. Meanwhile, Alfredo just starts to work on the sniper, actually killing him off there. Tinker only up to the boosted travel. Arrow coming through, and he decides to step into it like a true pro. Wow. It's all right. It's definitely calculated. The Dire can't go in any further there. Calculated arrow. He wanted to step into that one. And that means that USS are going to go into the Roshan pit. Healing Ward makes this exceptionally easy for them. Got the presence of the Dark Ward also decreasing the armor on Roshan, who happens to have quite a bit. Getting hit by another arrow, and the first Roshan of the game belongs to USS. Nice timing by them, 19 minutes. Definitely taking advantage of the fact that their team was having a man advantage. They were shutting down most of the other team, and they felt pretty confident going into the pit as well. Arrow comes through. Ew, it's just some farming for him. That was so close, but Maverick did have the vision necessary to get away from there, able to dodge the arrow. Oh, that would have been so nice for Mirana, but this was not to be.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Tower does end up falling to creeps at bottom, so I guess it's not the worst thing for Harrisburg. They're still getting some things off the map. They've gotten 2 towers down, but USS, they start to think about going for a tier 2 bottom. And we do have Harrisburg trying to make a play here. Maverick coming around the side. Doesn't have the Blink Dagger. Maybe they would have wanted to wait for that, but they do have the Blink on Centaur, and that Purge creep, it's not going to be telling them a whole lot, but here comes Koreyski around from the side. Sun hits out on the 2, and there's going to be the stomp immediately into an arrow there. Mirana, I don't even think that was planned or anything, but it's definitely a fantastic arrow from Mirana, stopping that stomp in its tracks. Now, USS are going to be taking a lot of damage from the shrapnel, but that was... We'll give him a little bit of luck there. We'll just... Oh no, Koreyski, that was a lot of machines that you're marching through. Usually those machines are supposed to march you down. And with that, USS, they've just broken the back of Harrisburg. They've used so much to try to go for that. Weave is not up for another 5. Furtive, he's going forward. We do have Centaur coming in available with a stomp, but he's going to get hit with another arrow. USS trying to figure out what to do with this big guy. Centaur keeps using the double edge. He's very slow thanks to the Purge creep, and he will blink out after all that. USS still want to go in on bottom, though. They'll take a lot of harass from the rockets, but they seem completely fine for this as long as... Oh no, here comes the stomp. Only out into the darks here, but the double edge is going to be there. Disruption keeping him alive for a little bit longer. The Hood of Defiance is going to get popped, protecting the Centaur from a lot of that damage. The tower gets very low. And USS are just going to back up for now. Meanwhile, Shadow Fiend, he's going to work on the top lane, and he's actually going to take a tier 3. All by his lonesome here. Says, screw the rest of my team. I'm going to keep pushing this in. If Harrisburg want to defend that bottom, they absolutely have to take care of me as a Shadow Fiend. Now, Centaur, he's going to get hit. Stomp is available, but he doesn't even get a chance to get it off. Hit by the arrow from long range, and that is going to be the end of him. Shadow Fiend back to the mid lane. He's not going to be pushing in top any longer. And USS, they don't really seem to care. Still having the Aegis on Juggernaut. He goes up to the high ground, hit by the Poison Touch, but exactly when is it actually going to do anything to Kuriski? He keeps going in. And, well, he will be able to spin away from the tower. Still under the effects of the Weave Armor. And without the Shadow Fiend, it's kind of unlikely that USS really want to do too much here. They'll back up, start to go for the shrines, give themselves a nice little influx of gold. And see where that can take them. BKB picked up for the Shadow Fiend. We have nearly a Manta style on Juggernaut. Some more illusions from him. And I think they're still trying to work out the farm for a Blink Dagger. We do have some double blinks from the Swatter and Centaur. And here comes the blink, the crush, the stomp. Lots of damage out on the mid lane. Gray Sky, can he actually get them down? There's a disruption vacuum out on the 3, and the wall is there as well. Omni's actually a little bit unlucky going over to the creep wave, but Skorioski is just spinning around doing the dirty, and that's going to be a double kill for Alfredo, securing 2 on the mid lane. Sportslat is very low. Furtive could be thinking about the assassinate pretty soon. He does have that available, but he just needs the vision, which he doesn't really have right now. Doesn't see too far outside of his base thanks to the nighttime that is happening right now. And Kuriski still has the Aegis available. Martian Machine's taking care of the creep wave, and this is just what you do as a tinker. You delay the game. Kuriski very low, and he really just wants to get rid of the Aegis right now, but he does have to be very careful. Nightmare getting a little bit low on mana. Furtive hit with the arrow. Do they decide to go in on that one? Alfredo's just going for the tier 3. Kuriski is back up right now, and with the Weave Armor going through, they really have to think about backing up. Kuriski getting slowed down. Will be a disruption keeping there for a couple more seconds, and the crush comes out as a result of that one. Here's a stomp by the center. Out on the 3. Harrisburg tried to turn it around. Alfredo in with the Requiem Souls from the backside though, and he's BKB'd as well. He's going to walk right through this one. HMY trying to get away. Alfredo has taken a lot of damage from Furtive. Doesn't really care about that BKB. Number 1 is going to be disrupted, getting away from the assassinate, and the sniper does not have any more vision to go in on that one. Tinker keeps throwing out the rockets. Another arrow goes out on the sniper, and with only the Juggernaut going down, USS will be able to back away for now. That would definitely help Tinker on his way to a Blink Dagger. It's just not been the best of farm for him right now. Sure, he's gotten to the Boots of Travel. Sure, he has the Soul Ring, but don't really see him doing too much. He does get over the top, gets in the trees, trying to hide a little bit. Juggernaut shows up to the lane, and Sportslot is not going to have the vision needed to get a vacuum. And Tinker gets ever closer to the Blink Dagger. Really needs to make sure that he can get that up, so USS are going to have a lot more of a difficult time trying to get him there. So Furtive is going to disconnect again. It's the second time that he did so. Hopefully he's able to get back in. If we look at our graphs, wow, look at graphs. There's some people who really, really like graphs. I'm not really one of those people, but graphs, wow, so good. Have we looked at items all that much? I don't really see Harrisburg getting too much right now. We'll be a Vanguard build-up for Centaur, not going for the Pipe of Insight just yet. Why is Shadow Demon getting a Morbid Mask? Does he just want a Vlad's for... Yeah, he's going to get a Vlad's for his team. And a Hurricane picked up for Shadow Fiend. Farm just keeps coming for USS. Meanwhile, Harrisburg, they're finding it really difficult to scrape anything together. Most of USS grouping around the top lane. Probably just to deal with the Tinker, but it's possible they could try to go for their first set of racks there. I should have been keeping track of time again. I guess I'll just know that when the game gets paused in Twitch, it'll be about 3 minutes from that point. We already have like 5 minutes for them from the draft. How long is pause timer? 10 minutes? There's no really... I mean, I understand that connections can be a little bit difficult. Meh, yeah, that happens. Oh well. There isn't really so much to say right now. It's just USS. They are... they're pretty far ahead at this point. And it's really going to take a lot of delaying from Harrisburg in order to get them back into this one. Like, they really want to delay until the sniper can get any amount of farm. Which is really what Harrisburg need in order to have any chance of winning this game. He just hasn't really been able to get too much space around the map. He is at the top of the net worth for his team. But he just needs a lot more time in order to be effective. He is pretty close to a Maelstrom, so it's not the worst thing for him. In fact, he probably could buy it right now. Maybe I should check out what the actual pause time is. Sat at a mall for 2 hours to download this stupid game. That sounds like a waste of time. Alright, let's look at the rules. He is back. That took, what, 5 minutes? Alright, we are going to get back in this one. So I guess I'll just have to look it up another time. As USS continue their... Okay, this is fun. This is a lot of fun. I don't even know if there is a rule for... Oh, here it is. Yeah, so hopefully he's able to get back in 2 minutes. So he'll get back in. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I can't obviously do anything about the pauses, but... Hey, you know what? I'll actually put out an offer. If any of you really feel like casting with me, you are welcome to contact me about trying to co-cast. I don't really mind at all for this type of thing. I think these games are generally pretty easy, even though some of the plays might be a little bit difficult to analyze sometimes. It's definitely fun to, I don't know, have someone to talk about the game with. Afraid of going in. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Oh, well, poor Tinker. They'll take care of him and take him off the map for about 40 seconds unless he buys back. I don't really think this is a serious push at all for USS top. Koroisky still inside the jungle. You got Shadow Fiend bottom. It's not really going to result in too much going on, but USS will be able to take another shrine off the map as a result of this. It'll take a while for them to do it because they don't really have too much damage there. They're just karate chopping, shooting arrows, throwing out little energy balls, trying to kill this one. It's taken them a long time. A very long time to do it. And the arrow is actually going to hit on the Centaur. He'll be kept there for a while. I don't really see any kind of aggression coming off of this one. Koroisky is hasted up. and goes back to his own creep wave, but there's not really too much of a point in doing that one. USS, they could smoke right now, I guess. Mantis picked up by Kuriski. They're just ganging up underneath the observer ward, and they're not going to smoke right now. They're just grouping up for the... They're just grouping up for the courier to deliver things. And here we go, up to the high ground for USS, looking for that vacuum. Vertiv is going to start to play the turret role, taking care of the creep wave. The disruption will come through. Oh, the arrow hits out onto the dazzle. They could definitely go into this one. Kuriski blinks to the high ground, and they're going to be able to kill him off. Kuriski wants to go a little bit deeper here. Sportslot was looking for a vacuum. Now we've got the Sparta blink out onto the Shadow Fiend. He could very easily turn this around, and indeed he will, going for the BKB. Unfortunately, doesn't have the... that doesn't do anything to a BKB. This guy moving forward. Huge damage from that Shadow Blade. Vacuumed back. Not quite having the damage to kill him off. And USS, they still want to try to go in on this tier 3 tower. Top lane's been pushed in. We've still got some illusions going there as well. They need to take care of those. Meanwhile, Shrapnel marshalling the machines in the mid lane, forcing them away. Shrapnel still trying to do its job and keeping the heroes out, but the melee racks have been taking a lot of damage here, and the siege will continue from the Shadow Demon illusions and the Manta style. USS really have to deal with them. Harrisburg still want to try to keep them out of the base. And, well, the creep wave is finally here. They'll make some illusions of the Shadow Fiend instead of the Juggernaut. They'll have the range to be able to do a little bit more here. Martial Machine still doing some damage. Sportslot's looking for a vacuum, taking a lot of damage. That's going to be the Crush, and the Assassinate will be able to take him out. Grey Sky looking for the Stomp, but it's not really going to hit onto too much. Meanwhile, Alfredo to the backlines with his Shadow Blade. They didn't expect him there. Sparta will be the first one to fall. Huge damage from that Shadow Blade. Now Alfredo has to pop the BKB. He's still taking a lot of damage from Furtive. Kuriski can't really go in all that far. Still underneath the healing ward, though. It will be killed off. Now Maverick with the nice crush out on the 2, and they're taking a lot of damage from the Martial Machines. Arrow comes through. It's actually going to hit on the Tinker Nightmare, taking that one to the face. Here comes number 1 with the Starfall, making him forced out once more. Nightmare, he's still trying to do as much as possible. Alfredo waiting on the high ground again. That doesn't really do much. Here comes the Requiem! Oh my lord! Actually broke, absolutely blowing him up there. That probably sounded really weird. I don't want to scream too much. I was really hype about that play. It was really cool because he like was being sneaky, and then he did the ultimate thing. Yeah, it was great. Fight recap, you guys deserve that. Look at that buyback. Anyway, I don't want you guys to message me about casting on Twitch. You can PM me on Discord. I'm like always on Discord. So just let me know. Oh my god. Well, in any case, so yeah, we have the pause out here. Fun game. At least each team has 10 minutes of pause time so that we can have a total, get this, a grand total of possibly 20 minutes waiting in game. That's some math for you. Oh my gosh, why is everybody messaging me on Discord now? Let's see what somebody did. Come in next lobby. I don't care if you want to cast with Sir Action Slacks. Well, in any case. Net worth, XP. We got Roshan. He's up right now. He's just sitting there in his little home. Oh shoot, I can't go into showcase mode. Shoot, I can't do that. Sorry, it'll crash my game. Luckily, Juggernaut's back. For a long time, Showcase mode was bugged, where I couldn't ever use it in this version of Dota. Wow, Connor's a buzzkill though. I'm actually probably not going to say that on the stream. Meanwhile, Nightmare getting chased down by Sportslot. No vacuum available to him. Nightmare blinks in the trees, getting away from the damage. He'll get back over to the top lane. Meanwhile, USS, as I was talking about the Roshan, they'll go for it right now. He'll troll, helping it out a little bit more. Love that Helmut Dominator. And Korsky will be the one to pick it up. Oh my lord, that arrow. It was so good. Except just a little bit late. So USS pushing the mid lane. And there is still a tier 3 here. Very low health. Couple of Vine Shells going through. Arrow not hitting on to anything except an emoji there. Or an effigy. That's what it is. Carrying. Okay, that I can probably show that on stream. Interesting that it comes up there though. In any case, Alfredo putting out some huge damage. Here comes the Requiem. Lots of damage from him. Nightmare still taking so much from the Blade Melt in the middle of his Marksman machines. Number 1 nearly dead. And that's going to be another pause in the middle of a fight. This is cool. Why can't I click on the Darkseer? Oh, he was there. Can't click on him though. Let's check out these. That one's original. Oh shoot. Too bad I can't go into showcase mode to look at these. Oh, no one hears me. Gosh darn it. I guess with 1 minute left, I actually have to make sure that it's a minute. Alright. Also, I have no idea why people... Is Harrisburg in, like, Central Time or something? Or is it a different Harrisburg? There's probably different Harrisburgs. Alright, we should be ready to go again. It might be the lobby? No, it's not the lobby. Well, in any case, we're going to be finding that a set of racks goes down. That's 2. USS, they are taking a lot of damage from Sniper. Healed up a little bit thanks to the healing ward. They're going to go for the Megas right now. Centaur and Dazzle with no buyback. And first steps up, hit with an arrow. Here comes the blinking from Korisky. Very easy kill. And now Maverick tries to create a little bit of space, but there's only so much he can do. And finally, the GG will come out from Harrisburg. And USS take game number 1 of this 2-game set. So it will be the Megas finally for USS just before this game ends. Not really like they needed them to win the game anyway, but I'm sure they definitely did their part for the 2 seconds that they were had. And that will be it for game number 1. So USS continuing with their winning ways here. And we'll see if they can continue them on to game number 2. This is week number 1 of the HSL. Make sure you guys join us for game number 2. And hopefully we have less pauses there, because that would be enjoyable. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll be right back.